Welcome to the Mystic Messenger. I'm your host, the Mystic, and this is where the veil thins and the truth of the soul is finally spoken. Today's episode is not just a teaching, it's a remembrance. Before we called it twin flames, it had a name so ancient it vibrated through the light body. A resonance, not a label, a memory, not a myth. It was the Hierogamic flame, the sacred union of two soul aspects split by divine will for the purpose of evolution. Not punishment, not to chase each other through lifetimes, but to ignite the source spark through separation and return. This isn't a love story, it's a light story, and the earth is the stage. Long before earth was dense, before the veils, before karmic cycles and names and timelines, there was a unity flame. One soul, two poles, one divine mission. In the higher planes, the soul existed as a complete frequency, both masculine and feminine harmonized. But for expansion, for experience, and for the divine experiment of the embodied creation, that soul was given a choice. You may stay whole and remain in the light, or you may divide and descend to the seed, the flame in matter. And so, they split, not in pain, but in purpose. One took the frequency of divine masculine will, the other the frequency of divine feminine wisdom. Not man and woman, but principles, currents, two charges of the same soul. They descended, often through different star systems, incarnating in alternate timelines, guided by the blueprint of reunion. But never together in the same body, because Earth was never meant to house the full frequency of the Hierogamic flame. It had to be earned, remembered, reclaimed through the human experience. Here's the sacred truth they don't tell you. True divine counterparts must forget each other in order to remember who they truly are. The flame is not about romance, it's about remembrance. If they incarnated together too soon, they'd bypass the human ego work. They'd collapse the system with their frequency. They'd mistake trauma bonding for soul merging. So instead, they incarnate at opposite ends of the polarity. One born into chaos, the other into control. One heart-led, the other mind-bound. One a shadow worker, the other a light anchor. And slowly across lifetimes, they burn their way back to truth. Earth, it's not broken. It's a veil machine, a place where divinity forgets itself and then chooses to remember. This is why twin souls or Hierogamic flames are so rare, because most souls don't want to incarnate here and forget. They don't want to face trauma, illusion, ego, and heartbreak just to find someone who already lives inside of them. But those who do, they are not here to date. They are here to rebuild the grid. The union of Hierogamic counterparts does not just affect them, it rewires the field. It restores divine templates to the planetary body. Their love is not emotional, it's energetic infrastructure. Here's where it gets dark. The higher realms knew the power of divine union. So did the forces who fed off human pain. And so the distortion began. The twin flame label was commercialized, romanticized, and weaponized. It became a chase, a longing, a never-ending cycle of addiction and abandonment. It was obsession. The false flame paradigm was born, where anyone who activated your trauma was called divine, when in truth, they were karmic loops in disguise. And the real twin souls, they were drowned in confusion, pain, and silence because no one believes them. You don't find a Hierogamic flame, you remember them. And that remembrance doesn't come from your mind, it comes from your soul memory. A quiet frequency buried under timelines, illusions, and karmic debris. When you meet your divine counterpart, it's not a lightning bolt, it's a soul mirror event, a moment of collapse and awakening simultaneously. The body may shake, time may slow, but more than anything, something inside you says, I know you. I've burned through galaxies with you. Most lists tell you it's so intense, or you feel drawn to them automatically. But here are the real markers, the ones that can't be faked. Timeline acceleration. As soon as they enter your field, your life shifts rapidly. Old relationships crumble, missions activate, your inner child screams and your higher self wakes up. The soul frequency mirroring. You don't just get along, you mirror frequency patterns down to fears, dreams, and bodily sensations across distances. Polarity crashes. You are opposites in form, but aligned in source. One may be deeply grounded, the other cosmic. One runs, one chases until the roles switch. This isn't dysfunction. It's the process of returning to the 0-point balance. You have shared awakening themes. You both awaken along a similar soul curriculum, even if you're apart. You have similar spiritual downloads at the same time, matching trauma initiations, reoccurring dreams and telepathic flashes, energetic sensations at a distance. Your heart flutters, pressure at the same moment, ringing in the ears. The code activation through pain. The runner doesn't run from you. They run from themselves, from the parts you reflect that they are not yet ready to love. But here's the key. Even in separation, you evolve. That's how you know it's divine. Question everybody asks. Why are so many people suddenly meeting their twin flame right now? Because the grid has changed. Earth has entered a new harmonic window. The veils are thinning. The Schumann resonance is spiking. Solar flares are igniting dormant DNA, and the soul contracts that were set long ago are being triggered. Many of you agreed to meet your divine counterpart now, not to fall in love, but to activate the light grid. When you meet your flame, your soul recognizes your next mission checkpoint. Union is not the goal. It's the consequence of both souls embodying their full light. But only some are actually here for that. Most are experiencing karmic mirrors designed to heal, test, and prepare you for a greater union. This is what's being hidden from you. A karmic mirror teaches through repetition, drains your energy over time, makes you question your worth, and follows a pain feedback loop that doesn't evolve. A hierogamic flame activates your soul memory, accelerates your path, forces ego death, and follows a return arc that brings you deeper into your higher self every time you reunite. They may both hurt, but only one makes you more of who you truly are at a soul level. Divine union isn't decided by the ego. It's written in the codes, and the soul always leaves markers. This part of the mystery has been buried for decades, deliberately kept hidden. Why, you ask? Because if you decode the contract between you and your divine counterpart, you become unprogrammable. You step outside of the karmic wheel. You remember, and in doing so, you break the entire loop. So, the natal chart isn't just your personality. It's your soul's contract with time and with the other half of your flame. What you need to look for in a true hierogamic synastry is North Node plus inner planet connections. Your counterpart will often have a Sun, Moon, Venus, or Mars conjunct your North Node or vice versa. This is a destiny activation. It pulls the soul forward. Vertex and access points, as in the descendant or the IC. The vertex is the fated meeting point. If one flame's vertex touches the other's descendant or I see, it's a divine encounter. These are divine intervention markers. In your composite chart, yods and mystical rectangles, when you combine both charts, hierogamic flames often form sacred geometry alignments. Yods are fingers of God. It's your soul mission. Mystic rectangles are sacred tasks completion. And the Grand Cross, which is rare, is the initiation through opposition and challenge. This is not about compatibility. This is about cosmic architecture. Your 12th house synastry, 12th house rules past life and the unconscious, also hidden enemies, so be careful here. If you have a flame, sun, moon, or Venus in your 12th, they awaken forgotten timelines. This is why it feels like you've always known them. So, numerology. Your birth date and name carry the soul sound of your incarnation. What you need to look for. Same or mirrored life path numbers. Hierogamic flames often share a life path or have mirrored numbers. 3 and 6, 7 and 9, 11 and 22. This creates a soul echo. Your expression or soul urge numbers. Even if the life path differs, your expression number, they match. This reveals shared frequency of service or essence. Your birthday, which is your planetary return. Sometimes one flame's birthday aligns with a major return or event in the other's chart. Maybe a Saturn return, a Chiron return, or a nodal return or reversal. This is a contract trigger. It marks activation time. Your names are not random. They are vibrational permissions your soul encoded. When two divine counterparts have names that reduce to the same master number, 11, 22, or 33, mirrored digits 15 or 51, or contain key letters in sacred geometry like THMS, they are emitting the same soul signature through different channels. So here's the real question. Are you here to love them or to awaken through them? Real flame connection activates your shadow, lights up your birth chart, echoes your name and date, forces you into higher embodiment, does not let you return to sleep. This is how you know. It's not a twin flame because they left you. It's a divine mirror because they unlocked you. Even if they never stay, even if they never say the words, the soul remembers the light that was exchanged. One of the greatest agonies of hierogamic path is that it feels impossible. How can two souls forged in the same light recognize each other, ignite together, and yet be ripped apart in the 3D? Why does it hurt so deeply? Why does one run? Why does one stay awake while the other forgets? Because the third dimensional matrix was never designed to hold the full bandwidth of this frequency. You must understand something sacred. Earth is not a prison. It's a projection field. Everything you believe about yourself, your soul, your worth, your divinity will be reflected back to you here. And for twin souls walking the hierogamic path, this mirror is especially intense and amplified. Why? Because the moment your frequencies reunite, the matrix responds. It knows. Your union threatens karmic grids, the ego cycle, the control structure built on separation. So what does the matrix do? It mirrors back your unresolved pain. It tests your embodiment. It challenges your ability to see through the illusion. Not because you're being punished, but because you're being initiated. This is one of the most misunderstood pieces of the divine union journey. You meet, you awaken, and then they vanish. Why? Because when the flame is not ready, the body cannot hold it. The nervous system goes into overdrive. The ego panics, and the subconscious wounds scream inside of you. It's not you they are running from. It's the reflection of their soul, the truth of who they are. that you so effortlessly see. So the matrix supplies an exit route, a karmic partner, a job in another state, a temptation to stay asleep. It's a test. It's part of the design. But here's what you must remember. The Hierogamic Union is never truly broken. It just moves into another dimension. If not physical, then energetic. If not emotional, then spiritual. The cord always stays, and it teaches. When your flame runs, they're not gone. They're mirroring. The part of you that still doubts, the fear that union will destroy you, the trauma you haven't yet transmuted. You are their soul teacher. They are your sacred shadow. Together you agreed to burn away everything that blocks love, even if it means they must walk away from you over and over again, so you can walk within. This is the esoteric truth. The Earth Matrix is not against your union. It's mirroring your remembrance process. When you awaken to your true self, your mission, and your frequency of love without conditioning, then the union reflects that too. Your external reality will begin to respond to your internal sovereignty, but only once you stop seeing the separation as a punishment and start seeing it as a portal. The twin flame path is often misunderstood as a romantic journey, but in its deepest essence, it is not about relationship. It is about reconciliation. Reconciliation of polarities. Reconciliation of the divine masculine and divine feminine codes within you first, and then through you with the counterpart. This is not about man and woman. This is not gendered. This is spiritual architecture. That's why this hierogamic flame is so rare that most souls do not choose this. Every soul contains both polarities. The divine masculine, which is structure, will, direction, and presence, protection. The divine feminine, flow, intuition, receptivity, creation, magnetism. In the Earth Matrix, these were separated, distorted, and pitted against each other. Masculine became domination. Feminine became a weakness. Power became control, and love became a dependency. To reclaim sacred union in the physical form, the soul must first unite these forces within. This is the inner alchemical marriage. The hierogamic flame cannot return to you fully until you return to yourself. If you are the feminine polarized soul in the connection, you may notice deep emotional sensitivity, desire to merge, intuitive knowing before it happens, longing for the sacred container. If you are the masculine polarized soul, you may experience inner pressure to fix or achieve, struggle with intimacy and vulnerability, strong need for solitude, activation through mission, not emotion. But in a true hierogamic bond, both will eventually transcend polarity. You will become feminine and powerful, masculine and receptive, unified and individuated. As you evolve, they shift. This is one of the most sacred truths of the path. When you shift internally, they shift externally. Why? Because you share a frequency field. You are not just connected, you are entangled at the soul level. Your activations ripple through them, whether they are conscious of it or not. If you open your heart, they may feel safe. If you close down, they may retreat. If you stand in your power, their own soul starts to stir. This is not about control, it's about quantum mirroring. What you integrate, they begin to process. What you transmute, they begin to remember. This is why, even in silence, you are still working together. You don't chase your flame. You don't wait. You become the version of you that no longer needs them to complete you. You become whole. And as you become whole, you call in their wholeness. Not because you needed them, but because you no longer believed in the illusion of separation. Union then becomes the byproduct of your embodiment. So, you didn't come here blank. You came here encoded. with a map, a vibration, a sequence of activation that unfolds like a cosmic lock, opening stargate after stargate as you remember who you are. And that map is written across your natal chart. Every planet, every degree, every house, and every access. All of it tells the story of your return to light. So, your natal chart is the stargate wheel. It is a clock. We've been taught to read the 12 zodiac signs, but this is a 12-gate portal, a clock of soul embodiment. Each house is a gateway, each planet is a frequency trigger, and every aspect of you hold in your chart is a checkpoint on the journey to soul remembrance. You are not moving in a circle. You are spiraling upward through each architectural gate, activating higher frequencies at each level. So, how to know what's currently activating in your own chart? Track your transits. The sky is never still, as above, so within. When a transiting planet touches a natal degree, especially a north node, Chiron, vertex, ascendant, descendant, midhaven, or your personal planets, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, and Mercury, it activates a memory. This is your soul triggering an update. For example, a transit of Saturn across your natal moon is emotional maturity activation. Uranus transit across your vertex, sudden karmic soul connection is arriving. Neptune conjunct your IC, ancestral spiritual awakening. So, how to find your activation sequence? 1. Look at your natal nodes. Your north node shows your primary soul evolution focus. The sign and house shows the themes you came to master. Example, if your north node is in Gemini 4th house, like mine is, your soul came to master emotional communication, family karma, and anchoring truth in the home. Number 2, check your soul gate planets. The following planets are tied to your soul contracts: Chiron, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. You will notice that all of these are outer planets, the bigger planets that take longer to orbit. Follow these planets by transit and progression. Their movement reveals your soul's curriculum timeline. Number 3, calculate your total natal degree count. Every planet's degree adds up to a frequency. When totaled, you get a core vibrational number tied to your soul's activation path. Example, in mine, my degree sum is 123 degrees. That's all of my planets, not my asteroids. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. 6 is the number of sacred union, responsibility, and divine service. This means my soul is here to embody hierogamic codes through service and love. 4. Check your opposite axis for mirror portals. Your descendant, IC, and south node tell you what you're leaving and where your counterpart mirrors you. If your flame has planets conjunct these points, it's a contract activation. So, the hidden truth. You don't start over, you continue the sequence in this lifetime. Every incarnation opens more of your stargates, and the degree and condition of each planet tells you how much you have been unlocked. If a planet is retrograde, you've already worked with this energy in another life. If a planet is exalted or in rulership, you've mastered it before. If it's deliberated, intercepted, or harshly aspected, it's a repeat initiation for you. Your natal Chiron and North Node placements are especially crucial. Together they show your most recent trauma and your next soul threshold. Every degree is a frequency, and the numbers across your chart can point to how many times you've returned, what archetypes you've mastered, what dimensional layers you're moved through. For instance, a chart with many zeros or 29-degree planets, the incarnation points near entry or exit portals. Charts with clustered mid-degrees, 15 through 22 degrees, are the embodiment focus. Likely older soul with Earth experience. The predominance of 12, 24, or 6 degrees is service-based incarnations. It's linked to Venus, Virgo, and the Christ grid. You can even reduce your total degree sum and match it with your life path, your expression or soul urge to see your mission match frequency. I know this sounds complicated, and I know it seems like a lot of work. We are here for self-mastery, and understanding our blueprint is mastery. In a true Hierogamic twin soul union, the counterpart doesn't just complement you, they mirror your path in such precision it defies logic. It's unexplainable. They are your inverted access. Where you are strong, they are learning. Where you suffer, they awaken. Where you activate one gate, they open the corresponding one at the same time. And the deeper truth? You designed it this way. You just have to remember. Let's use me for an example. I am a Virgo sun with a Pisces rising. My counterpart is a Pisces sun with a Virgo rising. Direct inversions. This means when I express Virgo sun, he is learning Pisces sun. When I express Pisces sun, or when he expresses Pisces sun, I am learning to soften my Virgo perfection. I hold the solar masculine of Earth Virgo. He holds the solar masculine of Water Pisces. Even your ascendant-descendant axes are reversed. It's not just compatibility with us, it's energetic counterbalancing. The mirrored awakening. This sacred mirror mechanism is why timelines don't always align. When you're grounded and focused, he may be overwhelmed and escaping. When he steps into vulnerability, you might be in an inner fire and retreating from softness. But here's the mastery and mystery most don't understand. As soon as you open one gate, his corresponding polarity is forced to activate. He does not have a choice. Let's say I activate my 4th house North Node in Gemini, which is emotional truth in home and family. He begins feeling the 10th house pressure, public role, father, healing, or external karma. Or let's say I face my 8th house Pluto in Scorpio, depth and transformation. He's nudged into the 2nd house Taurus themes, self-worth, safety, and embodiment. Each of us is an opposite end of the same soul spectrum at all times. There's no escaping. Why this happens? The reason the paths oppose is alchemical. When you fully anchor your divine feminine codes, he is triggered to awaken his divine masculine codes. When he embodies his masculine essence with honor, the inner feminine feels safe enough to soften and receive. It's an etheric circuit designed to build and collapse old programming through mirror tension. The opposition isn't an error. It is a sacral mechanism by which we both evolve, transmute karma, and eventually merge through higher dimensional resonance. The outcome of this union at the end, when divine union is achieved, whether in this lifetime or another, the outcome is not just a relationship, it is a collective template of harmonic balance. Our souls do not unite for ourselves. We reunite to activate collective heart grids, anchor divine masculine and feminine unity, complete soul missions in service of planetary awakening together. This union sends frequencies into the grid that help collapse fear templates and reprogramming the collective relationship field. Our sacred love isn't private, it's planetary architecture. And this is why it's so rare, so sacred, and so deeply protected. There's a reason the twin flame path is often misunderstood, mocked, or dismissed as fantasy. Because most souls on earth were not meant to walk it. It is not superior. It is simply rare and encoded with spiritual risk. The union of hierogamic souls, true twin flames, is so potent it destabilizes false matrix constructs and purges ego distortions through both souls at once. That is not romance, it's initiation. Most souls on earth are working through karmic contracts, emotional wounding, soul lessons of self-worth, abandonment, betrayal, and power. These are often reflected through karmic relationships, which trigger shadow healing, mirror unresolved trauma, and teach you how to love yourself through suffering. These relationships are essential for growth, but they are not designed for union. They are built for clearing. True hierogamic partners don't come to complete karma. They came in after the clearing has begun. But here's the sacred truth. You don't meet your flame to awaken. You meet them because you already began to awaken. They are the mirror, not the method. There is also what we call out there, false flame. A soul who mimics the energy of your true counterpart but ultimately reroutes you through illusion and dependency. How to recognize a false flame? Well, it can be extreme attraction but rapid emotional chaos, inconsistent words and actions, cycles of abandonment that feel disempowering, feeling drained, confused, or stuck in loops, constant need for external validation. False flames teach you what you must release before true union can occur. They often awaken the sacred longing, but are not the keeper of its fulfillment. They may carry similar numbers, dates, and even astrological overlays, but their presence does not lead to wholeness, it leads to extraction. You'll know your true twin by what happens in your soul, not just your body. It is a knowing before anything else. Some key indicators that I noticed when I met my counterpart. The synchronicities began before I met him. I didn't realize it at first, but it came to me after I met him. The presence activates rapid spiritual upgrades. I thought I was going crazy. Things came to me that I had no idea about. You feel a non-linear familiarity, like you've always known them. When I hugged my divine counterpart, everything flooded. The electrical shock that went through me was undeniable. They appeared during a major threshold moment in your evolution. He appeared when I was 36, which is 6 plus 3 is 9. It was in between my major life path moment. I'm a 39, 12, and 3 life path. 3 years before a major event took place in my life at 39 years old. Once again, following a 3-6-9 pattern. Your natal charts form perfect opposition overlays or nodal activations. My divine counterpart is always opposite me. His natal chart mirrors mine perfectly. I am a Pisces ascendant, he is a Virgo ascendant. I am an Aries first house, he is a Libra first house. I am a Taurus first house, or second house, he is a Scorpio second house. And it continues. There is often a shared number in your life path, soul number, or total name vibration. His name and my name are within each other's names, the letters. Even in separation, the connection continues to teach, evolve, and transform you into your higher self. Even when this individual is not around me, I am walking forward in my path. He returns when I veer off my path. It's not about ease, it's about truth. And most of all, there is a sacred timing to it. We always connect during portal times because the frequency can't withstand longer than 3 days of being in each other's presence. So he returns during portals when the energy can help us sustain for a little bit longer. Every time my divine counterpart returns, he activates me and I activate him into the next part of our journey. You will not recognize them until your soul is ready, and they may not awaken until your field begins to transmit the frequency of inner union. The influx of twin flame awakenings is not accidental. It's a cosmic response to Earth's shifting timeline. As the planetary grids prepare for ascension and light body embodiment, Hierogamic codes are being reactivated to collapse karmic cycles, heal the masculine and feminine, anchor 5D heart center templates, and restore divine remembrance through love. You are not going crazy, you are remembering. And when you meet your true divine counterpart, the Earth grid remembers too. This is why the journey is hard. It was never meant to be a romance novel. It is the restoration of divine architecture. So, most think that union is the finish line. I'm here to tell you that it is not the finish line. That once you finally merge with your divine counterpart, you live happily ever after, healed, whole, forever in bliss. This is what people think. But that's an illusion that belongs to the ego version of love. The soul knows something deeper. True union is not the destination, it is just the beginning. When twin souls merge, etherically, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, the field between them becomes a transmitter. You don't just radiate love for one another. You activate something much larger, a gravitational frequency that awakens others, heals timelines, and begins the work of restoring divine design. Hence why so many are waking up. Once sacred union occurs, even if it's only spiritual or energetic, a cascade of events often follows. Your soul purpose will illuminate and comes online. The two individuals may suddenly be pulled into humanitarian missions, healing arts, creative and sacred service, grid work or planetary activation, spiritual teaching, and quantum innovation. They may have already radically different gifts, but their energy unites to form a third field, the Hierogamic flame of service. Their union triggers merging of Merkaba fields, crown and heart chakra fusion, kundalini surges, cellular memory at higher dimensions, and DNA strand activation, often 6D to 12D codes. This can result in both euphoria and physical exhaustion. The body must recalibrate to hold higher photonic energy. Twin souls in union may notice increased visibility online or in community, sudden platforms or leadership roles, magnetizing others for healing or awakening. Why? Because their union transmits nothing but truth. It awakens the dormant flame in others, often without even words. Hierogamic pairs anchor new archetypes of love, not possessiveness, not sacrifice, and not codependency, but sovereignty and harmony, service through sacred balance, and love that liberates all. Together, they dissolve distortions in relationship templates, gender and polarity dynamics, wounded masculinity and suppressed femininity, fear of intimacy and abandonment programming. They don't just live their union, they broadcast their architecture of divine reunion to the collective grid. After union, the real work starts to begin. Because Earth is not just a school, it's a temple for divine remembering. Each flame pair is living a stargate. Your merged presence becomes a walking portal where others feel home, safety, recognition, and truth. The soul's task is no longer just in love to one another. It is service for the collective through power of that love. And that is why the journey is so rigorous. Only those who have burned through the illusions, ego, fear, and time can hold this frequency and not collapse under its power. If you've made it this far, you're not just listening, you are remembering. You feel it in your chest when you breathe in the world and you say or hear the word union. You feel it in your bones when you think of that one soul who changed everything for you. Not because you completed it, but because you shattered the illusion that you were never incomplete. Let's remember what the path truly is. It's a divine blueprint etched across time. It is a soul agreement between two aspects of the same origin flame. It is a living fire, not a fairy tale. Twin flames, the esoteric hierogamic pairs, are not here to fall in love. They are here to become love embodied. You are not looking for them to save you. You are remembering them because you came to save each other from forgetting what you are. So, you didn't come here to find love. You came here to remember that you are it. And when two flames remember together, the entire Earth matrix begins to shift. Your love is not ordinary. It is a cosmic code. Walk wisely. You are rewriting creation. This is only the beginning. You are not alone on this path. Keep walking. The fire is alive within you.